Ahead of Saturday's Democratic presidential primary in South Carolina, the candidates will take the stage tonight in a debate on CBS.
And CBS News political correspondent Natalie Brand is in South Carolina with what we can expect tonight. Hi, Natalie. What should viewers look for this evening?
Hi, Mark and Susan. Well, I think we can expect to see potentially fireworks, and that's because this is arguably the most high-stakes debate to date, given its critical timing before the primary here in South Carolina on Saturday, and then Super Tuesday when 14 states go to vote. So obviously a lot of delegates up to grabs, more than 1,300 between now and a week from today. And so that's why for some of these candidates, it could really be their last chance to make an impression on a national stage.
The stakes are very high for all of the candidates, but do you think this is a potential make or break moment for Joe Biden?
Well, South Carolina is considered Joe Biden's firewall. He has to perform here and perform well, and that's because he has underperformed in the first 3 contests. And really, if he can't get a win here, can't get momentum, then his supporters will continue to question whether his campaign is viable. And already we've seen some of his support cut in recent South Carolina polls of likely primary voters. So really, this is a critical test for him, especially headed into Super Tuesday. And what we've seen is Bernie Sanders' momentum to grow, and also in this state, billionaire Tom Steyer, who has invested a lot of money here and also has a history in South Carolina from a business perspective, and that could certainly cut into some of Biden's support.
Michael Bloomberg is not on the ballot in South Carolina, but he will be on the debate stage tonight. What do you think his goal is for this evening?
Well, his goal is to rebound from the bruising performance we saw last week. We know that he's taken a few days off the campaign trail. He's been holed up in debate prep. So we'll see if he can improve upon what he considered a shaky performance last week. And also his campaign has made clear that he intends to go straight after Bernie Sanders. His campaign has said if there's one candidate on stage that all the other candidates should be focused on, it is Bernie Sanders, and that's because Sanders enters this as the frontrunner. This debate also follows some controversial comments on 60 Minutes regarding Fidel Castro and Cuba, so we are likely to see that come up as well, in addition to criticism around some of his policies and also the label Democratic Socialist.
Do you think Bernie Sanders will try to appeal to more moderate Democrats, or do you think he'll stay on message?
If we know one thing about Bernie Sanders, he is always on message, and his consistency is what has attracted his supporters to him. In talking, to some of his supporters and also campaign volunteers, they say it's less about convincing those who do not support Sanders and more about turning out his base of supporters, which, as we know, are very enthusiastic and energized. So we are likely to see Sanders stay right on message and not apologize for his comments or his policies, but again, remain the consistent Bernie Sanders that his supporters have come to love.
It should be an exciting evening, that's for sure. The debate begins at 7 o'clock tonight on CBS. Natalie Brand, thank you for being with us today.
Natalie, great to see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.